Now, here's Dominic Carter on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Let's go to Lamar in Manhattan. Good morning, Lamar. You're on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Good morning. How are you doing, Brother Dominic? I hope you don't mind me calling you Brother Dominic.
It's okay. It's okay. Go right ahead, Lamar. Good morning.
I just want to remind everybody within the sound of my voice that in response to your question, how did we get here, there's an old saying that the fish rots from the head down. There are so many cases. Well, the well has been poisoned. There are so many cases of police misconduct that can only be called egregious.
Wait, Lamar. So wait. I want to engage with you here for a second. Can you still hear me?
Very well.
Okay, good. Very good. So we have members of the community that are, for terms that you and I can understand, that are acting a complete fool. And you're talking to me about police misconduct?
Well, you know what, Brother Lamar, a few days ago or weeks ago, we were talking, you allowed me to speak with you, and we were talking about...
I'll always allow you to speak. Go ahead.
We were discussing an incident that transpired in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where a man by the name of Patrick LaHoya was shot in the back of the head. The officer who committed that crime, Officer Chris Shore, is now facing murder charges. There are too many cases.
Okay, but wait, Lamar. We have to be honest with each other, right? It's very tragic that I believe Mr. Loyola lost his life. But are you telling me he bears no responsibility in that incident? You've seen the video. He bears no responsibility.
All I can say, Brother Dominic, is that the grand jury that indicted Officer Shaw did not believe that he was justified in taking that man's life.
Okay.
And I agree with you.
Okay. And you're right. You're right. He has been indicted. But I know, Lamar, a smart man as yourself, you know the saying. You started with a saying. I'll throw one right back at you. A district attorney can indict a ham sandwich. And in this climate, anything involving a police officer, with all of this wokeness and so on, almost anything involving a police officer, it's going. Why do you think they're not taking action? Why do you think those police officers in Harlem were punched in the head and what appeared to be like a riot situation, and they were still professional? So, Lamar, I welcome your calls. I embrace your calls, but I'm trying to get to the bottom of what's going on, and you're telling me police misconduct. And so if the police completely get out of the way, who's going to patrol these folks that are acting like they have absolutely no sense, Lamar? And I'm asking you that question.
All I can say, Brother Dominic, is that there's a conspicuous societal disconnect between the police and the civilian population, and this didn't just happen overnight.
Right.
There are injustices that have been going on for decades, many years. You are a professional journalist. You know for a fact, this is before my time, maybe perhaps even before your time, but there was a thing called the Knapp Commission that came to the conclusion that the police in your city were engaged in a level of corruption that was without precedent. The police commission at that time, Mr. Patrick Murphy, said himself that corruption was the rule rather than the exception in the NYPD. This has been going on for many years, and it's not going to be solved overnight. And as far as that is concerned,
we agree on that.
I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, but I will say that our current mayor, Mayor Adams, who is being blamed for all of these incidents, this didn't happen overnight. And Mayor Adams, I don't care if he's Superman, is not going to be able to solve it overnight.
Fair enough, Lamar. I just want you to do me a favor. Please, I don't know if you've seen the video yet, but go look at the video. You can go almost to any newspaper site. Go look at what happened in the community, the way that these people, men and women, jumped on these police officers, punch these police officers. Absolutely no respect for the law. None. So please, Lamar,
Dominic,
go ahead
before
quickly.
we end the conversation, can I ask you a question?
Yes, but quick. Go ahead.
My question is, from your professional standpoint, a man of your intellect and professional background, what do you think, Brother Dominic, is the cause for this rage among our communities?
Wow, that's a great question, Lamar. And I can't answer that in an hour time. But one, it starts with education. Too many in communities of color are taught that there are shortcuts to education. Nothing worthwhile in life, Lamar, you know the answer to this, comes easy. And so lack of education, no discipline, no role models, no father figures, and thinking that you're equal to police officers and that you can do whatever you want. So Lamar, and I've gone on way too long, but thank you for the call, Lamar. I hear you. I hear you. I really do. When you're talking about alleged police misconduct, go look at the video. I defy you or anyone else to show me police misconduct in that Harlem video as those officers were spit on in the face and punched in the back of the head, and not a single officer pulled their weapon. I don't know if I could have reacted that way after being punched in the back of my head and spit in my face with in this day of COVID and God knows what else. Dominic Carter here with you, Talk Radio 77 WABC, Wilford in Newark. Good morning. You're on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Good morning.
Good morning.
In that answer, guys, remember this: an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And America's Constitution that's part of it with the ounce of prevention. That's why it had freedom for you to do anything you want, as long as you don't mess with somebody else. But they've been chipping away at the Constitution, coming up with little things and always for your protection. Mm-hmm. And the reason why we get, and these gun violence we get and all, and they're trying to cure it, that's the ounce of prevention they didn't do. They're doing the pound of cure, making all these new laws up and stuff. If you let a kid, when a kid grows up, he's born, he knows nothing. He's a total nothing as far as brains. But he learns from what he sees. And when they go to school and they can beat up the teachers and do that kind of stuff, and don't get punished, that's how they grow into these guys that do those shooting and things.
Well, that's a good point, Wilford, that you're making in Newark. Let's go to Queens. Let's see what Ellen has to say. Good morning, Ellen. You're on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Hi. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning.
I was listening to both of the people before me, and I am understanding of the history, and there's a lot of issues and problems systemically. But when you think about it, small incursions do lead to bigger problems, and that goes for if you're raising kids. You give a little bit, you don't have enough say in what goes on in the small areas. It becomes bigger problems later. So regarding radios and music being pumped up in the middle of the night too loud where the neighbors can't sleep, I would say that this is one of these incursions, and this would be true even if it was gospel music, for crying out loud. Too loud.
Absolutely.
And other neighbors can't sleep.
Absolutely.
So it has nothing to do with what kind of music it was or who was doing it, but these cops should have been able to at least tell the people firmly, and even if need be, take the if they didn't cooperate, that is, if they refuse to cooperate even a little bit, just be able to, take the radio away or even give them a citation or a ticket or something if they got violent handcuffs.
Well, I should point out again, and Ellen, I really appreciate your call. Thank you. I should point out again that this happened before 6 p.m., so it wasn't very, very late. But if a police officer gives you a command, you are, maybe command is the wrong word. Certainly in the community, they'll say, how dare you command me? So if a police officer instructs you to do something, you're supposed to comply with it. And if it's not lawful or whatever the case may be, there are avenues to pursue after that. But it is against the law if an officer asks you for identification and you don't provide it.